Welcome back. If you have not watched my video on setup and how to play, I would highly recommend doing that. I will be going through the rules as we play, but I will not be teaching before we start in this video. Additionally, I have reset the board because I had lots of different examples during the setup video, so I have shuffled all the cards and I have set it up per the solo rules. The first thing we need to do is to check our hand, and we're gonna have to discard one of these cards before we start the round. So this is what I was dealt, and I have to pick one. Looking at the board, not a whole lot of great options. Here at the town hall, there's a 2 and a 4, and I can already see that the rival is going to have a straight because their face-up card is a 3. So looking at my hand, I already know I'm not going to beat the rival at the town hall this turn. I could possibly win a hand at the bank because there's a couple of 4s here, and the rival might have an upside down 4, a face down 4, but I don't know for sure. And I could have a 5 high card, which would beat the 3 high card. Probably our strongest hand is going to be here at the saloon. There's a horseshoe here, and if I take the 5, I could get a horseshoe, so that would make a flush. Down here at the sheriff's office, there's a 1 and a 2, and I can already see that it has a straight. So looking at my cards, I can make a pair of 2s, but that's not going to win the hand there. Moving on to the courthouse, I would have a 5 high card, and it would have a 3 high card, so that is a possible option as well. And going to the hideout, I could have a pair of 2s, and it's going to have a straight. The rival's going to have a straight with a 2, a 3, and a 4. So I think our best bet is to take the 5 and discard the 2. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we have done the shuffle and deal phase. I did that off camera. So now we will move to our posse placement phase, where we will move our 2 workers to somewhere on the board. So my first worker, I'm going to move to the saloon, and I'm going to place it on the right side of this worker placement spot to say, hey, I'm trying to get these 2 resources during the resolution phase. I'm foregoing this instant ability of getting 1 resource of my choice, and I'm risking it. So now the rival goes, and it will roll its dice. It gets a 5, so it will go location 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Since there are no action spaces here, because we're playing a solo game, it's simply going to go to the porch. For my second worker, I'm going to place him at the courthouse. And once again, I'm going to take a chance and go on the right-hand side of this spot. So I'm going to try to get 2 force. The rival will roll again, and it gets a 6. So when it rolls a 6, it will try to go to exactly where we just went. So it will also go to the courthouse, and this will cause a duel. So when a duel happens, we both have to roll our bullet dice. I'm blue, it's red. I got a 5, it got a 1. I'm also going to add the value of the card I chose at the beginning of the round to my dice. So 5 plus 5 is a 10. And for the rival, we're simply going to draw a card from the unused poker cards. And it got a 5. So 5 plus 1 is a 6. So what that means is that the rival lost the duel, so it will fall down. I will stand on top of him, and then I will get to claim the wanted card and put it on my character sheet. One of the benefits of having this is if you are wanted at the beginning of phase 3, which is the phase we're about to go to, I'm going to get an additional resource of my choice. In this playthrough, I will be using probably influence and resource interchangeably. They mean the same thing. It just means resources. I'll go ahead and place this on my character card. Speaking of my character, I am the lawman, and I have a special ability. While dueling, I gain +1 power for every 6 total influence you have. So right now I have 3 because I have 1 of each, so that would not have increased my dueling for that turn. But going forward, if I have 6 or more resources or influence, then I'm going to get +1 power. All right, So we have placed our 2 workers, the rival has placed its 2 workers, and now it's time to move to phase 3, which is the resolution phase. We are wanted, so we get an additional resource of our choice. And I think I'm going to get another law, which moves my law from 1 to 2. Alright, it's the start of the resolution phase. So we're going to resolve each location that has workers on it, starting with the bank and working clockwise around the location boards. So there are no people at the bank, so we'll skip that one. Alright, so we'll go to the saloon. So I do have a worker here, but I don't just get free resources. I have to battle the rival for not only the resources here that I'm going for, but also the winner's pot. So what we'll do is we will flip over the rival's card. And so it has a 1 and a 3. So it's going to make the best possible poker hand using the 2 and the 4 and one of these cards. So it's going to make a straight using the 3, which is generally pretty good. There's a 2, then 3, then 4. So that's a straight. But I have a 5. And it's not specifically the 5 that's important. It's the horseshoe. So the horseshoe, horseshoe, and horseshoe makes a flush. And that beats a straight. So not only am I going to get 2 resources of my choice, since I went here and I'm still standing, I didn't lose a duel, but I'm also going to collect this winner's pot. So I'm going to get an additional 2 resources. So looking at my board, I'm going to take 2 force and 2 money. Let's just spread it out a little bit. The next place with workers is the courthouse. And since I won the duel and I'm still standing, I can try to get these 2 force. I still have to battle the rival for it though. So let's take a look at their hand. So once again, they're going to look at these 2 cards. And the 4, 3, and 1 would not make anything. So it's going to use the 1, and it's going to have a pair of 1s with a 4 high card. Looking at my card, I just have a 5 high card. So unfortunately, it was able to make a pair, so I will not get anything from this location. What a bummer. The last spot is the hideout, and since there are no of my workers there, the AI is not going to do anything, the rival's not going to do anything because it does not track its resources. So to determine who buys first in phase 4, we need to compare hands at the town hall. So the rival is going to use the 3 and make a 2, 3, 4, which is a straight. And unfortunately, I just have a 5 high card, so it gets to buy first. The rival will get to buy first, and it will look at the location mats that it has workers on. So it has workers at the courthouse and it has workers at the hideout. So it's going to compare these 2 cards, and whichever one has the most victory points, that's the one it's going to collect. So it's going to end up being the hideout, but I'll go ahead and show you. So the hideout is worth 3 victory points and the courthouse is worth 2. So this building is going to get tucked under its porch. So now it's my turn to buy, and I have 2 options. I can buy this card since I went to the saloon, or I can buy this card since I went to the courthouse. Looking at these 2 options, this one is only worth 1 victory point, but it only costs 3 resources. This one's worth 2, but it costs 4. Additionally, this is going to give me more icons for the end of game scoring. So I think I'm going to go with this one. So I need to pay a law, a force, and a money. So I'll drop my law 1, my force 1, as well as my money 1, and then I'll place this slot under my porch. And this is now a new worker placement spot that I can go to. Lastly, since the rival won the town hall, it gets to move an industry marker up 1. So it's going to look at the last card it bought. And since this is the last card it bought, and it's going to look at the leftmost icon, which is the railway, and it's going to advance the purple marker up 1 on the industry track. And that's it for round 1. We're going to do this 5 more times, and then whoever has the most victory points at the end of the game wins. Moving on to round 2, we need to shuffle and deal the cards and refill the buy slots. So for this slot, normally you refill the buy slots from the porch, but you never take building cards from the rival or yourself to fill the buy slots. So I just need to draw 1 from the deck and fill it in there. And we get a train station. It's worth 4 victory points, but it costs 3 law and 3 force. And then for this one, we're simply going to take this porch and we're going to place it here. We will return our workers. And then we need to refill this porch slot with another building card. We get an opera house worth 3 victory points. It costs a gold, 2 force, and 2 law. And now we need to deal out poker cards. So looking at the cards that I got a 3 of horseshoes and a 2 of skulls, which are the 2 lowest suits in the game. And if you can't remember the suits order, it's on the town hall. So it goes hats, then TPs, then horseshoes, then skulls. Looking at the town hall, I can already see that the rival has 3 of a kind. And so I could tie it if I take the 3, but it has a hat and I have a horseshoe, so it would still beat me. So I am not winning the town hall this turn as well. While that horseshoe is not good for the town hall, at both this location, and this location, I would have a flush. And at this location and this location, I would have a straight flush, which is the highest hand in the game. So there's my 3. I would have a 3, 4, 5, and it would be a flush. And I would have a 1, 2, 3, and it would also be a flush. So I definitely want to go the saloon and the courthouse again because I'm almost guaranteed to win those. So the first place I'm going to go again is the saloon. And I'm going to go on the right hand side to try to get 2 more influence. The AI will go. It gets a 3. So 1, 2, 3. When going to the sheriff's office, it will place its marker on the leftover buildings spot. And with my second worker, once again, I'm going to go to the courthouse on the right hand side as to try to get 2 force and 2 law. The AI will roll its dice. It gets a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will go to the hideout and it will place its worker on the porch. So no dueling this turn. That's fine with me. It is the beginning of the resolution phase. And since I am still wanted, I get to gain a influence or resource of my choice. I will gain a law, moving me up to 2 of each. So now we need to resolve. We'll go ahead and resolve the saloon. We'll look at the rival's 2 cards. It's a 3 and a 4. So it has a straight. So 3, 4, 5, which is pretty good, but it's not as good as a straight flush. So I will get 2 resources of my choice from here. And then since I had the best hand, I will get this one as well. And I will go ahead and get 2 law and 2 force. Moving those both up to 4, and I have 2 money. The sheriff's office has a rival worker, but once again, since I didn't go there, we don't need to do anything with that. The courthouse will get resolved. Looking at its 2 cards, the rival will use the 3, making a straight with the 1, 2, and 3. But once again, I have a straight 1, 2, and 3, but I also have a flush. So that is the highest hand in the game, so I win that one as well. So I get 2 more force and 2 more law. The last spot is the hideout and only has a rival worker there, so we don't need to do anything with that. All right, we need to compare hands at the town hall. The rival has a flush with 3 3s. I also have a flush with 3 3s, but the cowboy hat is better than a horseshoe, so it gets to buy first. Looking at the locations, the rival has workers here and here, so it could buy either this card or this card. They are both 2 victory points. So what you do is you select the one that is closest to the town hall in clockwise order. So clockwise order, it gets to this one first, so it will buy this one and add it to its porch. I have a choice of either this card or this card, so let's take a look at them. One is worth 4 points, the other is worth 2, but the 2 point only costs 4 resources, and this 4.1 costs 6. But I'm behind the AI when it comes to victory points, so I'm going to take the train station, which came from the saloon. So it's going to cost me 3 law, 1, 2, 3, and 3 force, 1, 2, 3. And I will add this to my porch. Since the rival won the town hall, they get to pick which industry to move up. So they're going to look at the last card that they purchased, which is this one, and it's going to look at the card and look at the leftmost icon. So it's going to move up green. And that is the end of round 2. So far, I have 7 victory points, 5 coming from buildings and 2 coming from the wanted effect. And the rival has 8 victory points. Let's go ahead and fill back in the buy slots, and then I will take back all the poker cards, shuffle them, and meet you back for round 3. So to fill in the buy slots, this one, we need to fill this one in. You don't take from the porch because it's a rival, so we'll simply flip over a card. And it is another 2-pointer. And this one, we will take it from the porch slot. It is a 1-pointer. And then we will refill the porch slot with cards from here. And that is a 3-pointer. All right, I will go ahead and shuffle the poker cards. All right, so we are ready to start round number 3. Looking at my 2 cards I got a 2 and a 4. So I think this is our chance to do some damage on the rival. So looking at the Town Hall, they got a 4 as well, but my 4 is a TP, so it's going to break ties. So I could possibly win the Town Hall. I could have a pair of 2s at the bank. Don't love that option. I could have a pair of 4s at the saloon. Okay, that's not bad. Once again, a pair of 4s at the sheriff's office, and a pair of 5s and a 4 high card at the courthouse, and a pair of 4s at the hideout. I really like this hand, not knowing what this card is. If they have a 3, that could hurt me, as it could easily get a straight here, as well as the sheriff's office and the saloon and the bank. So if that card's a 3, we're in trouble. But I think my best bet is to keep the 4 and discard the 2. And that's also going to help me on dueling, keeping the higher number. So let's do that. For my first worker, I'm going to place it on the porch slot of the hideout. So I'm instantly going to get a gold. So I will move my gold up from 2 to 3. And then looking at the porch slot at the hideout, this says it's not an instant, so we have to wait. At the beginning of phase 3, gain 3 resources if you have the highest single poker card amongst all the players. So I'm taking a bit of a chance there. There's only 1 card that would defeat me, which is a 5. And I know that there's 2 5s on the board already. And the only other 4 that would beat me would be a hat, but it's already on the board. So unless this is a 5, we should be able to do that at the beginning of phase 3. All right, the AI is going to go. It's going to roll a dice. Got a 6. So it did not like me going there, so it's going to duel me. So we'll place its worker there as well, and we will go ahead and duel. We will roll the bullet dice for each of us. I got a 5, it got a 3. We will add my card, so 5 plus 4 is 9, plus, since I have 6 or more total influence, I'm going to get plus 1. So my total is 10 right now. We're going to draw a card for the rival. It gets a 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5. I keep the wanted sign on my character card, and we'll go ahead and knock down the worker on the hideout. For my last worker, I'm going to go to the leftover spot because I might be able to squeak out a second buy action. We will roll to see where the rival goes. Per the rules, if it stands up like this, then you re-roll it. It got a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's coming back to duel me. We will roll both dice. Oof, I got a 1 and it got a 6. We will add my card to it, so I'm at 5, plus I have 6 or more resources, so my total power is 6. We will draw a card for the rival. It's a 3, so its total value is 9. So I'm going to spend an influence to make them re-roll. Another 6. You know what? I'm spending another one. Another gold to make them re-roll again. A 2. Perfect. Alright, so 2 plus 3 is 5. And then I have 1 plus my 4 is 5, plus my special ability is 6, so I win the duel. I keep the wanted card, and we will knock over that worker as well. All right, it is time to move to phase 3. So at the beginning of phase 3, because I'm wanted, I get to get an influence of my choice. So I will choose a money. And then because of this port slot, that says at the beginning of phase 3, gain 3 resources if you have the highest single poker card amongst all the players. I have a 4, so we'll see what they have. Please don't be a 5. Please don't be a 5. Please don't be a 5. Oh, come on. Oh, man, that hurts. So the first location we resolve is the sheriff's office. We don't do the leftover yet. We do that during the buy phase. So we will go to try to determine who has the best poker hand to get the winner's pot. So the rival is going to use the 5 to have a pair of 5s and a 4. And I only have a pair of 4s. So the rival wins there, so I do not get the pot there. And it's the same thing at the hideout. That really sucks. All right, but going to the town hall in phase 4 to see who buys first. I have a pair of 4s with the TP. The rival has a pair of 4s with a horseshoe, so I win town hall. I get to move the industry track up 1, as well as I get to buy first. So my choices are this card at the sheriff's office or this card at the hideout. I currently can't afford this card at the hideout because I missed out on so many different resources. So I will go ahead and purchase this one, which is only 1 victory point, but it does give me 1 icon of each, and it only costs 2 gold and a law. We'll move this down to 0 and this down from 3 to 2. We'll also slide this card under our porch. All right, the rival only has workers at 1 location, so it will buy this card, and it is worth 2 victory points, and we will add it to its porch. And for my town hall, I have 3 purples, 2 greens, and 2 orange icons, and the rival has 4 greens, 5 purples, and 2 orange icons. So I think our best bet is to start to move orange up and hopefully get that in the number 1 spot and start buying building cards that have orange mining industry icons on it. So we will move that up 1. All right, so let's go ahead and refill our buy slots. For this one, we will refill from the porch. From this one, we will refill from the porch. And then we need to draw 2 new cards to refill the porch. Take our workers back, take our die back, and then we will shuffle up the poker cards and move on to round 4. We're halfway done. I think that is a great place to leave it. So come back for part 2 where we will finish this playthrough and hopefully get the edge in victory.